Meghan Markle has responded to the reports that Netflix has dropped her and Prince Harry. So what do you think her spin on this is? Hey up everyone, it's me, Stef The Alter Nerd, your nerdy alternative, and welcome to the Dose the Daily Nerd, where I break down the royal news and gossip of the day that's pretty much caught me eye. And oh my goodness, yeah, let's jump into this madness, shall we? Because Megxie has responded to the reports that Netflix has dropped her and Prince Harry. And what do you think her spin is on this? Well, it's interesting in this article right here from US Weekly, how they put the emphasis on Harry and Megxie not renewing the contract with Netflix. Here's the headline here. Meghan Markle and Prince Harry will not renew the $100 million deal with Netflix after 3 shows. Even their mouthpiece, People magazine, are trying to also spin it in this way. Here you go. Meghan Markle and Prince Harry's $100 million Netflix deal won't be renewed. Meghan Markle and Prince Harry won't be renewing their $100 million contract with Netflix after it expires in September, The Sun reports. It's as if Harry and Megxie are saying that it was their decision to not renew the contract with Netflix, that they were not dropped like what happened with Spotify. Well, yeah, it's happened the exact same way as Spotify, as all the other headlines are saying Harry and Meghan's Netflix deal is dead. Bosses are just waiting for the credits to roll on the $100 million contract with no appetite for anything new after dismal viewing figures, insiders claim. And thanks to Royally Sage, who shared this on X, which, by the way, as I always like to say, make sure you're following Royally Sage on X, because as far as I'm concerned, they share the best blind items and stories when it comes to the gruesome twosome. Here, Royally Sage at Sage1411 says this source came from the Harkles, so clearly they're trying to get ahead of any Netflix announcement, probably afraid to be called out as grifters again. And here, Royally Sage is sharing this little bit from where I believe it was found on Entertainment Weekly, because here Entertainment Weekly is saying an anonymous source also told The Sun that there's no animosity from either side and that things have just run their course. Guys, it's as if through this anonymous source, Harry and Megxie are trying to say that there's no animosity. It's not like what happened when they were dropped by Spotify. They're not effing grifters. It was a mutual and very peaceful decision. Again, there's no animosity whatsoever. Yeah, there's animosity from Netflix. They are absolutely pissed that Harry and Megxie did not deliver. And so here, reported by The Sun, they are quoting a source saying that they, as in Netflix, are not happy with how things turned out. They got those initial hits and produced one of the most talked about shows of all time. Netflix execs are well aware that Meghan's priority now is her own brand, and they won't play second fiddle to that. So, yeah. How can they turn around and say that there's no animosity from Netflix whatsoever when Netflix is literally turning around through anonymous sources, it seems, and saying, we got sick and tired of Megxie putting all her focus on the brand rather than the 100 million contract and the content that we paid for that never really happened and came anyway. Yeah, there is animosity from Netflix, it does seem. They are absolutely pissed that Harry and Megxie did not deliver. So I see it all as Harry and Megxie responding to the news that Netflix has dropped them, as them trying to put a brave face on all of it. Try to turn around and say, wait a minute, it was our decision not to renew the contract. No. It was Netflix's decision. If Netflix turned round to them today and said, we're going to extend your contract for an extra 50 million or whatever, they would jump at that chance. It's as simple as that, as far as I'm concerned. The other thing as well that they're turning around and saying that there's no animosity whatsoever. Yeah. Sources are already starting to come out. Definitely looks like there's animosity from Netflix towards the gruesome twosome. They are not happy with how things turned out. But Hazza and Megzy, through these anonymous sources, they try to put a brave face on all of it and they try to respond back. I'm not. I don't believe their responses. I'm not drinking their Kool-Aid. Are you? But there's further reaction from Megzy. And this comes courtesy of Foster from at Foster__Braxton on X, saying that Dan Wooten has an insider who states that Meghan is going through multiple levels of grief. She went from denial to desperation to anger to a current state of complete devastation. It couldn't happen to a more deserving person. Now, she might have some idea of how the royal family felt when she called them racist. Indeed. And the reactions from X are coming in thick and fast. Here's my good mate TB, Think Beautiful, saying, "We've loved Meghan. Going out with Chrissy Teigen as the major guest is just the icing on the net flop cake." I would say so. Yeah, a cake that, let's be real here, Megzy wouldn't bake herself. She'd get one of her lackeys to bake it and then turn round on the programme and be like, look at what I made. Yeah, all right. Like we're believing that BS. Here we've got Jennifer Fleming, Jennifer01964470 saying, RIP Netflix, you're not alone. Buried with 40 by 40, clever coffee, Spotify, American Riviera, whatever, Lemonade, The Bench, Pearl, Polo, and ethical handbags, and the Me, You, Can't See, Heart Me Victor, Shot My, and so much more. Now, for goodness sake, let Princess Diana rest in peace. All you had to do was be nice. Yep. Here we've got Stephanie Sidley from the Sidley Twins. Make sure you're following her on X, also on YouTube as well, the Sidley Twins, saying it's always nice when bad people can admit they're losers. Yeah. But with Hazza and Meg's response in the media via these anonymous sources, in my opinion, conspiracy theory, whatever, yeah, they're still not admitting that they're losers outright. They're trying to make out that they're the ones that decided not to renew the deal. They're the ones that decided that they were going to say goodbye to Netflix. Yep. Oh, yeah, and there's no animosity whatsoever. It's all Gucci. Yeah. Are you falling for that narrative? Because I know I'm not. And let's leave it from the final reaction that I found from It's Link Lauren, saying, I just love good news in the morning. The hucksters and Montecito will have to find a new grift. Yeah, they'll have to find a new grift, and fast, because with Netflix reportedly dropping them, that's a $100 million hole in their finances. Could that actually plunge them into financial crisis? Stay tuned for my next video. With that being said, if you appreciated this one and you want more, and of course you want more, then make sure you subscribe to join our Alter Nerd tribe here on YouTube. If you're watching on X, make sure you're following me at Stef Alter Nerd. Like, share, comment down below your opinion, conspiracy theory, whatever. What do you think to Hazza and Meg's response via these, as far as I'm concerned, anonymous sources after being dropped by Netflix? Do you believe that Hazza and Megzy decided off their own back not to renew the contract with Netflix? Do you really believe that? Let me know in the comments down below. Thank you so much for tuning into this video. I appreciate all your faces. And until the next time, you guys, laters.